debates among women historians about whether the Reformation was good or bad for women.
Mm.
That's not really the question.
Mhm.
The question is, how does patriarchy shapeshift?
Mhm.
And, patriarchy exists in the medieval world, it exists in the Reformation world, it exists in the modern world, but it's not always the same. So sometimes in some places, women are able to do more and push against it in different ways than they are in the past. So in the medieval world, because women could deny their what made them, essentially they could deny their female sex, they could eschew marriage and
Mhm.
having children,
Mhm.
they could proclaim a religious vocation,
Mhm.
and this would allow them to enable to have the authority of men in many places. And we have preaching women in the
Mm.
medieval world, we have female leaders who were respected by the male church leaders, and so this is sort of because of this loophole in which women
Mm.
could become more like men. That's what some of the texts say, that women
Mm.
and God be men. So this isn't a good thing. Women are still having to deny who they are. They are
Mhm.
still having to become more like men in order to do what God has called them to do. So it's still not a good thing for women. But in the Reformation era, what we see happening because of changing economic situations, because of changing legal situations, even the beginning of the rise of what we call the nation state, where we see everything's getting much more organized, much more tightly organized. And with this, too, is the organization of the family. And so we see a lot more emphasis being put on women's legal subordination to men.
Mm.
And this aligns really easily with Reformation theology, which removes the priest and puts the spiritual authority on the husband.
Mm.
And so what we see is this very natural alignment between Reformation theology, or the way Reformation theology is interpreted, and with these already changing economic and legal structures
Mm.
that are emphasizing the subordination of women.
Mm.
And so what we end up with is what, I used Linda Roper's phrase,